guys, I'm Alana and I am here at a Borderlands The Pre-Sequel Preview event. Right next to me now is Jonathan Pilling from 2K Australia. So I guess, tell me about the pre-sequel. Why is it called the pre-sequel? Is that even a word?
Well, it is now.
It is now.
It's basically a game that takes place between Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. And we like to make up words, and so we
Why not? So, of course, since it's between those two games, is that specifically why it's on the old-gen consoles and not on the new ones?
I mean, that's partly to do with it. I mean, also we just wanted to go where most of the fans are, and because this game is really for the fans.
Yeah, so I guess specifically because it's in between, then everyone gets to play all three, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So even though it is in between, it's very different from the other two. So I particularly liked Borderlands 2, but this is like everything that I sort of wanted extra on top of Borderlands 2. So there's anti-gravity, super crazy weapons, everything's really over the top, and the humor seems to be even more pronounced than it was in Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
So what inspired some of those changes?
From the very beginning, when we first started talking about the game, and we were wondering, like, what should we do? Where should we go? For me, like, looking up into the sky when I was playing Borderlands 2, I was always seeing that space station, seeing the moon, and going, "Ooh, I wonder what's up there. I bet I get to go there at some point."
And then it happened.
Yeah, and so we made it happen because it just seemed like an expectation that needed to be fulfilled. And once you're on the moon, you've got to start thinking about, well, how is this the moon? Why is this different to Pandora, and how do we meet expectations about what it means to go to the moon? And low gravity is obviously one of the first things that you think about. And the thing is, just adding low gravity actually changes a lot about the gameplay, because suddenly you've got this extra dimension. You can go up as well as side to side, and you're no longer stuck to the ground or behind cover anymore. And so we chose to really push that and make sure that what you could do with low gravity, was not destructive to the great combat loop that exists in Borderlands. Yeah. But that actually enhances it, and so it's still, it feels very much like a Borderlands game.
Yeah. Just bouncy.
But yeah, just bouncy, and so you can get above your enemies. You can slam them. The enemies can do the same to you. So overall,
right. Okay, I didn't see any of that. So I was going to ask if the enemy AI can also kind of manipulate gravity. So they can.
Yes. The new bandits called the Scavs on the moon are able to sort of utilize the gravity much the same way that you are.
Right.
So there's more guys with jetpacks. There's also guys that will leap at you from long range and slam and knock you back.
Nice guys.
Sorry?
Nice guys.
Yeah.
Super polite.
Yep.
So one thing that I found overwhelming there, because I didn't realize it was happening, was running out of oxygen. So is this supposed to be a really important part of the game?
It's there to really enhance the feeling of being on the moon. We wanted to make the moon feel very different to Pandora.
I can't think of any other game that's done that when you've gone to space either. I guess Dead Space maybe, but this is the first time that I've actually felt like I had that extra thing that I had to worry about in combat as well, because I was like running out of breath there. Right. And I could hear my character just wheezing, and I was like, oh God.
Yeah. But we made it so that it was going to be really forgiving as well.
Yeah.
We didn't want it to be annoying or distracting from the experience. We just wanted to make it feel like, hey, there's something else I need to think about because I'm on the moon. Yeah. It's like the low gravity. You kind of have that expectation. It's super easy to get oxygen replenishment. So guys.
Yeah, they're just lying around.
Yeah, and guys in combat will just drop canisters everywhere. There are fissures in the ground that leak it. If you go indoors, you just get all your oxygen back instantly, and any health that you've lost because you were choking is immediately refunded as well.
So can you tell me about the characters? Who do we have on the roster?
Yeah, so, we've got Nisha. Nisha is the Lawbringer, and she's, if you play Borderlands 2, she's the Sheriff of Lynchwood, Jack's girlfriend. So obviously there's going to be a little bit of a development there. She's a really nasty piece of work, so her class is the Lawbringer. She's kind of an old-timey Western gunslinger. Yeah. So Wilhelm is...
he's the one I played as.
Right, yeah. So his class is the Enforcer. He's one of the most feared sort of mercenaries in the galaxy, and Handsome Jack hired him. We've got Athena. Her class is the Gladiator. So she's returning as well from a previous Borderlands game. Borderlands 1 had a DLC called The Secret Armory of General Knox. And she was your sort of main point of contact, and she was a ninja assassin type of character, worked for the Atlas Corporation. But the story of that DLC sort of concerned her falling out with the Atlas Corporation, becoming a rogue, independent mercenary.
Cool. So I guess the fourth character
is Claptrap.
Yes.
Yeah. He's the chaos bomb. So, you know, Claptrap is kind of an essential ingredient to Borderlands, and it really made sense to turn him into a playable character.
Yeah, I would not have expected it. Like, I really would never have seen that coming.
Which is why it was so important that we do it.
Yeah.
So Claptrap is he's a real sort of random element in the game.
At one point, I just couldn't stop firing my weapon, and
That's
I was
right.
like, "What the hell has happened?" And apparently, I got trap clapped.
Yes, you. So Claptrap's action skill is called vaulthunter.exe, and it's basically a bit of kind of badly programmed software that you could really actually call malware, because it affects not only Claptrap, but it affects
Everyone
the entire
else.
team. Yeah. So
what measures have you put in place to try and prevent it from being frustrating?
well, I mean, that was something that we struggled with early on. Like we really wanted to make sure we got that balance.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when we started, we were like, hey, here's some skills which are kind of good, and here's some skills which are bad.
Yeah.
And that was crap, because when you got the bad stuff, you just felt awful.
Yeah.
There were no sort of redeeming moments out of getting something bad.
So I guess, did you change it to make the bad ones powerful?
Well, what we did was we changed it so that whatever happens is going to have some kind of good outcome.
Okay.
But
it's up to the player to make it good.
It's up to the player to manage that. So it's kind of skill-based. It's not sort of random number generator bad, where like something bad could just happen or something good could just happen, and it's less about what the player can do. So everything is sort of based around providing a challenge to the player and asking them to react. And if they react well, then they're going to really be super powerful. In fact, Claptrap can be one of the most powerful characters.
Yeah, he seems it.
Yes.
It's crazy. I just wasn't expecting everything that happened. If you had 3 words to describe Borderlands the Pre-Sequel, what would they be?
Australian moon lasers.
That's excellent. I completely agree with that. Can you tell us when it's coming out?
Yes, it's coming out on October the 14th, and that's North America. It's on the 16th in Australia and New Zealand, and 17th internationally.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I just wrapped up my time with Borderlands the Pre-Sequel, and I gotta say, it does feel the same as the other Borderlands games in a good way. That's super fast-paced action, lots of enemy variety, and lots of headshots everywhere. What particularly stood out to me was the anti-gravity. That was absolutely awesome. Just being able to bounce around the map is really cool. Lots of lasers, everything's sci-fi, but still has that really good Borderlands humor, so it's not cheesy at all. I guess the only thing that I have to say about the 2 or so hours that I played with the game is that it feels a lot like a lot of fetch quests, which I guess is the same as the other games, but they do make that acceptable by having co-op fun and really great dialogue. I'm Alana, and this is But the Bash.